What's going on, everybody? Caught you raw making this video before everyone's attention is diverted other places with the Mike Tyson fight tonight. So, as I was saying, I got the Gnostic Bible and I have Archons, the Book of Archons. All right. So, Archons. We're gonna talk about this right here. I got all these different books in here, and I thought they were in ABC order. They're not. Just fine. Go. All right, so I want to make this. I actually wanted to do a video with y'all live, but I will pre-record this one. All right, so Archons explain. So any number of world governments, powers that were created with the material world by a subordinate deity called the Demiurge. Archons were viewed as a maleficent force. They numbered 7 or 12 and were identified with the 7 planets of iniquity, or with the signs of the zodiac. Talking about also your outside chakras above you and inwardly. Those can be archons as well. Anything that traps you, that keeps you felt like you're trapping yourself, that could be classified as an archon, your ruler. So anything that you start to worship, there's a lot of people that worship their their what you call them, chakras. People, a lot of people worship their chakras, and it's supposed to be a tool. The basic Gnostic myth is that the Creator described in Genesis is not the true God, but an inferior demiurge. The demiurge have many sorts of ministers or archons, and together they are responsible for their miserable world through imprisonment in the abortion of matter. Yeah, humanity carries within the leftover sparks of the pre-cosmic flora that existed before the demiurge and his creation. Human beings are thus totally superior to the ecosystem that stewards but strangers in a strange land. Our body and soul cloak this spiritual spark and must be rent for us to be discovered our true being. These are different books you can read. You got Snakes and Ladders. Snakes and Ladders, is that board game we used to play as kids, right? You had to go up the ladder. Then when you see a snake, you go down. Not knowingly, these board games are made by occultists. But these occultists make these board games. They be like actually making these games based off our spiritual body, based off our energy, based off of how we transfer energy from our body up and down, to and fro from heaven and earth. Heaven, the top chakra; earth, the lower chakras. Right. So, actually, you know what? I could just read Archons Explained. Yeah. How far is this? Oh, this is okay. All right. Even this picture right here describes above and below, right? They all wear white, the same colors. So, so if you were to tell me, can you tell the difference in them? No, you can't. They all look the same. They all look the same. But there's upside. They are looking upside down. They're looking right side up. And here are some things that have been highlighted, which is, these are pre-highlighted. In the beginning, there was an unknowable, immaterial, and invisible God, sometimes called the Father of all, and sometimes by the other names. He was neither male nor female. He was composed of the implicitly infinite amount of living non-physical substance. Surrounding this God was great empty regions called the Plamora. Beyond the Plamora lay empty space. The God act to fill the Plamora through a series of emanations, a secretion of a small portion of his or its non-physical energy, divine material. In most counts, there are 30 emanations and 15 complementary pairs, each getting slightly less of the divine material and therefore being slightly weaker. So the emanations are called aeons and eternities and are mostly named personifications in Greek abstract ideas. Like the god, they are non physical light beings. They are described as androgynous and bisexual. The aeons, in turn, generate large number of simpler entities called angels, the first of great emanations, according to several Gnostic groups, is named Barbelo. Barbelo. This is a predominantly female persona. The common stipulation is that only Barbelo is able to see or communicate with the invisible Father God. Even the other non-physical dwellers. Notice the word dwellers. I'll talk about that later. All right. I'm looking at Thoth over there. Come on, Bal. He wants to be in the video. He wants to say hello. All right, got you in the video, buddy. All right, so put my glasses on. I know you most y'all probably reading ahead right now. Put my glasses on so I can see here. Oh crap! No, no, no. What just happened? Push pause. Okay, I'm back. I was just observing something. It's kind of odd. Observing something on my monitor over here. All right. So the aeons are eternities. It means eternity. When people say, "Oh, it's aeons ago," you're trying to say for eternity. So you've heard of that word before, aeons. Oh, eons. So that's not nothing new. All right. That's not nothing new. So that's not nothing new. So what else we got here? All right. So we have the God acts to fill the plasma. And I'm just gonna go ahead and back out. I'm trying to play some music while I do this. Damn, I don't know why I got tired so fast. Alright, so we got what the Aeons. So the Aeons in turn generate large numbers of simpler entities, sometimes called angels. So we got we got these emanations breaking apart, creating aspects of the one. That's what you say. Angels can be aspects of the one broken down. And throughout these aeons, he created more of themselves. Right. The first great emanations, according to several Nazi groups, is called Babylon, and once again, this is called like the feminine personality. A common speculation is that Babylon is the only one able to communicate to the Father. Even other non-physical dwellers in the Plumora have no contact with this remote entity, sometimes called the Silent God. Often there is in a central trinity, Father, Mother, and Son. You see, there is a mother. Hebrews. We call you Shebrew. If there's a Shebrew, that must be out of, and we call it just Hebrews. They got to be a Shebrew, right? Even that term Hebrew is like kind of like damn, like there's no Shebrew, there's no female brew. All right, so I mean, ain't that right? Right. And hopefully y'all watch this video. I know most of y'all gonna be concentrated about that fight so much. The common outcome is the myth or myth. Often there is a central trinity. The common outcome is of the myth rest of the 13th emanation, or there we go, or Aeon Sophia. There is both the Greek word for wisdom and also a woman's name. Sophia becomes jealous in the power of the God of the Father of all to create. Without permission of her consorts, we get into the whole story about Sophia basically traveling down and creating. And it proves to be a monstrosity with the head of a lion, body of a serpent. She names him Yaldabaoth, and he is also Scalus, or Sakelas, the Hebrew, the fool, the blind god. So, if you want to think about this another way, you can say that's your sperm. Your sperm have a head of a lion and a body of a serpent. If you look at sperm, how it's shaped. So we have this aborted specimen, this sperm, this blind god down here, by himself and angry at the mother for leaving him. That's why you got a lot of angry blind men who's angry at the women when they get into a lot of these, when they get into a lot of, you know, oh dang, what is gonna say? Male, male. Somebody sent me a message. Oh shoot. uh Damn. Somebody got me. All right, you got me. Someone got me. They got me in one of those trick posts. Okay, so this aborted god specimen, which is a sperm, he proved to be monstrosities with the head of a lion-bodied serpent. Like I said, Yadabrov, now given the title Demon Urge, created a dozen of Archons commanders. Notice they are not alien parasites, which they can be because sperm is this parasite to the woman body. Actually, that's facts. The sperm is a alien to the woman's body. Actually, when sperm enters into the woman's body, the body tries to fight and destroy it because it's not natural in her body. The woman did not naturally produce babies like that. So, in that mirror image of a great emanation, the Palomora, hundreds of lesser angels. So, so basically, Yaldabaoth then creates the cosmos, understood to man. Understood to mean not the entire universe, but the known planets. There were in the order. So this is where they said Adam named these planets. Man, named these planets, or Adam named the animals, and he gave these planets names like animal names because these these planets feast off us. That's why each of these zodiac signs is some type of parasite or some type of animal, man, or whatever, some type of creature. So Yah brought assigned seven of his angels to rule over the seven planetary spheres, then creates Earth, and then decides to populate it. Yep. So all right. So Yaldabaoth decides to populate Earth, which you know what that means. He decides to populate Earth by what? Sperm. Because sperm populates Earth. Sperm is Yaldabaoth. Seeds. Sperm is Yaldabaoth seeds. All right. So we give off the seeds of Yaldabaoth. Men, your seeds is your seeds are that of the Archon, because you keep this place alive for it to feast off of. The dead get feast off of these worms, these parasites, these worms. Right? The lowly maggot feast off your dead body. You stomp on bugs, but bugs eat you at the very end of the day. All right. He and his angels make Adam, which each of the 365, 365. Right? I thought it was going to be 369. I like, yo. 365 angels contributed a single part. Now that 365 is significant. I'm just trying to figure out what that could mean. By this time, Sophia has discovered what her offspring has done and is horrified at the fate of the humans he is in the process of creating, who will be encased in deadening matter as in mobile tombs. In one version, she and her consort come down from the Plamora and trick Yaldabaoth into breathing life into Adam and Eve, therefore giving them and their descendants greater spirit power than the demiurge is able to retain. In another version, Christ or another illuminator comes down to earth to disguise by a magical helmet and endues his near lifeless human prototypes with tiny divine sparks. Right. Yaldabaoth then creates the Garden of Eden, not as earth as in Genesis, but at a level of the stars. He cruelly tells the human captives not to eat the tree of life, good or evil. In some versions, the hypostasis of the Archons among the Nag Hammadi texts. I have both. I have Nag Hammadi texts also. The serpent of the agent of Sophia urging Adam and Eve to disobey, in more Christianized accounts, is that Christ who comes to the garden to warn Adam and Eve of Demiurge's plan to enslave them in a deadly manner. So that would be what that serpent. The serpent will actually be Christ. So Christ came to you in the Garden of Eden to give you some lights. Actually, Christ would still be considered Lucifer, the first light, because he is a light bearer. Christ is a light bearer. That's the energy actually. Jesus is the light bearer, so he's another form of Lucifer. These light bearers. Trying to explain this in church, they'll throw me out, right? Yep. By the way, you like the sparkly lights over here? Mm-hmm. We feature Wichita coffee. We feature Wichita over here. Feature Wichita. If I can speak. Oh my gosh. Let me get something to drink. I drink it too much. Drinking too much of this tea. Making me act up right now. Sugar high, baby. Yeah. Finally, the role of survivor, even in the later documents. Well, I basically just skipped all over that. But basically, you know. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness, man. I don't know why I'm just yawning so much now. But yeah. That's something right there. He claims that he's a jealous God and say that he's the only God. Now in the Bible, there's always something questionable. Why do the God of the Bible says that he is a jealous God? That would mean there's other gods. Do you see? That don't make sense. Why are you a jealous God if you are the most ultimate one? You don't need to be jealous of anything you create. You are the creator. You made it. You don't have to be jealous of it. That never really makes sense. Now, finally, the role sin has little to do with the non-subversion. All right, so prepare them. Okay, so the survivor, the savior figures in Gnosticism trad away from the deadening effect of being encased in matter and prepare them for the androgynous, non-material individual flight through the cosmos after death to try to reach the Plamora and re-emerge their divine spark, the main mass located there. So you see, this is what this is all about. That's why they said, in your kingdom of heaven is in death. You're not saying that you can't have heaven, you can't have no goods now. But what they're saying is, you get your ultimate reward when you leave out of this body and don't come back and go to where you are all powerful. Right? Prepare yourself for death. When you're living, you're preparing for death, actually. So there was the model in which Earth was speared in the center of the universe. And that is because Earth is actually the center. The Earth was thought to be surrounded by nested transparent crystal spheres, the seven heavens. Now we're talking about the flat Earth model, the model which I use. And you got seven heavens above, and then you got several others below. The eighth sphere, the oak dot, contains all the fixed stars. On the other side of the sphere of zodiacs were imagined various celestial locations, from Plato's realm of perfect ideas of the abdon of the gods to the Christian heaven to the Gnostic Gomorrah. And I did actually get some Plato's philosophy books. I mean, they say if you're a philosopher, you have to get some Plato's, some of his writings. You gotta get some Plato writings. All right, so let's go ahead and keep this thing moving on to the next page. So we see the red skies. Let's read some of this stuff right here, because I skip a lot of it. It is quite obvious that compared to the Gnostic cognations, Genesis and the Gospels are dazzling clear and simple. What then is concealed behind this complexity? These pictorial subtitles, which transform history into a chain of absurd tragedies, a series of obscure end effects. Amid a vast array of archons, power in entities without numbers. Yes, was it necessary to stage so many the theater and to indulge in such weeping and gnashing of teeth, so many fall, and so much repentance, such contravents and perversity of the part of the archons and the eons, in which I need to give me some energy. I don't know what the hell. I just lost all energy right now. This yeah. Hmm. In the age of the church fathers were seeking to suppress and conceal all evidence. Yep. So the Gnostics believed the Catholic Church was an arm of Satan because it did not teach the truth. The Catholic teachings was introduced by the Archon, claimed the Gnostics, who were the wicked rulers of the world that led man astray, because they hunted down the Gnostics. They did not like the Gnostics. I believe in my past lives, one of those past lives, I was a Gnostic myself. And I was hung and burned like a witch. Oh, I remember that. I had that vision for a little while since I was a kid, being burnt like a witch. Yep. Fun, fun, fun. Here we go. Being eaten by the serpent. What say? What do we have here? We are the fallen angels. You hear that, Thoth? You hear that? We are the fallen angels? That's what they say right here. As I view how the stocks markets are moving up and up and up. Boom. Oh my goodness, how far that's moving up. Ooh. That's a bad boy right here. Straight up. So yeah. If you watch my stream earlier today, I was talking about the stock market and look how beautiful this looks. Straight on up, 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 boom, boom, boom. Amazing. So yeah. Back on topic. Notice the details. The devil sexual seduces the angels as a snake because there is no godly wisdom in a cold-blooded reptile. And the Archons are prison wardens, not the alien parasites like John Lash claims. However, we are trap angels. And I don't see nothing wrong with saying there's aliens attacking us. You can aliens is just you can say aliens is something that you can't explain, right? Just say it like that. Aliens is something that you can't explain. By the way, you like my Mortal Kombat and Cyberpunk? Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm ready for this game. Cyberpunk, I'm ready. Once this game comes out, you're not gonna hear from me for 2 years, probably. Actually, just like how Elder Scrolls Skyrim came out when that game came out. Hey, I was missing in action, maybe a good 2-3 months. Then I like, hey, I'm still here. I just was lost in Skyrim. Yeah, I'm gonna be lost in Cyberpunk when it comes out. And got my Xbox playing on because I got my music playing over here, my Xbox. This is how I get down. Just read books, listen to music on my Xbox, talking to you, making this video. What's going on, everybody? I getting me some energy now. It's popping up. It's coming up now. 8:13. Yeah, it's probably why. It's the 8. The 8. It's the 13th. Infinity, baby. Infinity. Number 13. Infinity. Oh, yes. Let me ring my bell for 8 and 13. Ring my bell for 8 and 13. Yes. 8:13. All right. So who are these aliens? We can just say aliens are just parasites in your body. Parasites that are not normal for Earth. Parasites that are ruling over us, basically. So yes, in a way you can say Archons are aliens. You can say that. Remember the Bible stuff about 3/3 of the angels in heaven we've been that swept down here, right? We are trapped. We've been tricked. We have been warning over what was imposed upon us. We have indifferent males and females' bodies. Satan commands us to perform works of the flesh in the bodies of clay, but we didn't know how. Satan had to find a way to force us to bodies of clay, so he made us lust after each other to have babies, and so that we are trapped even more angels into bodies. His scheme included the creation of the paradise, Eden, which is Earth. Eden is Earth. They say Earth is a paradise. Plane. Come down to Earth. It's a paradise plane. Ha ha. You got tricks. We are trapped angels, right? We are souls, pictures of archonic oversouls spread over different times, lines, and dimensions. Notice the details. The devil sexually seduces the angels as a snake because there is no godly wisdom in a cold-blooded reptile. I'm going to read this again because, hey. So, there you go. How many people remember being swept down to earth and then coming out of the mother womb? The mother womb, you know, your mom. How many of you have those visions? Mm-hmm. All right, what else we got here? All right, so I'm 36 minutes in. I'm trying to make this video about an hour or less. This include we're yoked together. You know, the snake can also be that the cord, the biblical cord, right, connecting to the tree of life from your mother to the baby. There could be another thing. The tree of life, the baby, the mother, and once you remove that cord, that's the tree of death because you're slowly dying. Oh, what? What did you just say? Yeah, you didn't know that, huh? Probably did, but you probably didn't put two to two together. Yes. The tree of life is being connected to the mother coming out the womb, but then once that cord falls off, that's the tree. You are now eating from the tree of death. Because you have to eat outside of the mother's nutritional being of wealth that she gives to you. Now you have to survive on your own, eat all this dead food that is down here to us. These are all the trees of death, the food that we eat. Everything down here is not nutritional, even though we trying to be like, hey, eat this, do this diet, do this, that. Everything has been jeopardized. There's no food down here that is not. So we eat from the tree of death right now. And let's see what else we got here. So, I just reading through some of this, just quoting most of the stuff is just quoting the Bible, talking about what the Bible is talking about. Hmm. All right. So then Satan took his seat above the firmament and gave command to the angels who were over the air and the angels who was over the waters, and they raised 2/3 of the waters into the air. One of the remaining thirds of the formed wide seas, the division of the waters formed was by the command of God invisible. And again, Satan who was the angels, from the precious stones, he commanded the earth to bring all forth living. All right, angels, grief, blah 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 blah. Okay. All right, so here we go. Therefore, the wicked devil enter into the evil serpent, deceived the angels who was in form of a woman. And oh, there we go. I thought there was no female angels. Well, ha ha ha. The Gnostics don't never said that. That was your Hebrewic information given to you. It's telling you the angels of God is all men. Bunch of sodomies. Funny enough, the priesthoods say that they ban sodomy, but yet they do sodomy. It's hip- hypocrisy. Hypocrisy to the max. Hmm. Hypocrisy. Therefore, the wicked devil entered into the evil servant, quote unquote evil, and poured upon her head a longing for sin, and Eve's desire was like a glowing oven. Therefore, the devil, in the form of a serpent, came out of the reeds and set his lust on her with his serpent tail. That is why the offsprings are called not the sons of God, but sons of the devil and the sons of the serpent, fulfilling the diabolic desires of their fathers, even until the end of the world. After this, the devil poured out his longing upon the head of the angel who was in Adam, and both angels were affected by a lust for debauchery, together begetting children of the devil and the serpent until the consummation of the earth. Right. All right. So there, so the devil entered the paradise, planted a bed of reeds in the midst of the paradise. Of his battle, he became a serpent and bade him remains in weed. Thus the devil concealed the knowledge of his deceit, so that he would not perceive his treachery. He went into them saying, "Eat of all the fruit in paradise, but of the fruit of good and evil do not eat." So what you're seeing right here is, hmm. So what you're seeing right here is basically a sexual act, and let's talk about if you really want to get down into the science of this story, let's talk about your genes giving off into life springs, breaking apart, creating new things inside of your body. So I'll talk about atoms and cells and all this stuff inside of your body. But we get lost in the tale. But it's really just talk about the creation of life. By their fall, spirits of heaven entered the female body of clay and took on flesh. For the form the lust of the flesh and took on spirit at the same time. Spirit is born of the spirit and flesh of flesh. And thus the reign of Satan ceased not in this world. And I questioned the Lord, saying, For how long will Satan have domination in this world, for this essence of man? And my Father will permit him to reign 7 days, and this is 7 ages. Notice he used the number 7 again. Seven is, once again, 7 dealing with the Bible, dealing with your body from toe to head until you break free of this flesh, till you graduate over sin, over this body. You are controlled for. You are Satan under Satan's control, basically. Your archonic body, your body, your body is the devil. It controls your actions. It controls your desires. Right. Hmm. So that is the problem. Earth as an angel trapped. Trapped. I said trapped. Yes, with a T. Trapped. If the angel is trapped, his soul gets blown up and parted. Wow. Alrighty then. They just okay. They talk about like a supernova type of thing, huh? Once again, they talk about your cells. Through the traumatic soul fragmentation, the knowledge about the divine light world gets lost to the greatest extent. The splitting into the consciousness and the unconsciousness begin. I would like to comment on the following chart of the secret order. Ooh, the secret order. The real divine world is a light world. Our entire soul lives there in harmony with all that is. But there is a dark place in this light world. There was built an attractor by two entities. The order states that their names is Satan and Gabriel, a trap that allures divine souls. As you can see, this whole cosmic clock or wheel of time is a cosmic time capture device. That's why Saturn is a smaller time capture device directly influencing us. But overall, if you look at the whole entire universe as in a way, it's a capture device, right? We got to get closer to the center, go down within the center and escape. Not sure how far Earth is from the center, quote unquote, if you're looking at the whole heliocentric model. That's if you look at it from that model. But if you look at the flat Earth type of model, you are already in the center. You just have to go through Earth, heart chakra, shoot out from the northern lights. And once you go to the northern lights, you travel west, you travel in, you go west, then you go east, you shoot out. You make this circular motion of the snake eating its tail. Then you shoot out. Since you ate your old self, creating something new, you want to shoot out afterwards, right? Pew, pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew. Lights. All right. Life in this experience matrix follows the scripts of the angels. Trapped. Essential elements are the fight of the good against evil, demonic seductions, and the intimidations, conflicts, experience of frustration and shortcomings, the search for true love, and so on. Yep, we do all this inside this matrix, right? Hmm. Do, 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 do. Okay, so Gabriel. She is to be considered a female angel of darkness who can be called an angel of the witches. Gabriel. Actually, when you look at the Saturn, Gabriel and Lilith, still you'll see both of those. But Sembrel, you actually will see Sembrel, Lilith, something like that. Over Saturn, Lilith is the female version of the Saturn energy. All right, so the agents of Saturn, Satan, well, they one the same. Saturn or Satan, however you want to say it, and Gabriel agree to that false play on a soul level. However, their consciousness on the level of the persona is normally so restricted that they can't and don't want to see and admit to themselves their dark and evil plans. The fragmentation soul of these angels. Let me see something here. Do 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 do. Pa 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 pa. Yeah, bring it Yes, sir. All right, so we are back on track. So what we got here? We got an angel fell, and he got some type of something on his leg. Look like hair. And we got a lot of pages to go through. I mean, 16 out of 253. So I'm going to try to go through as many as I can on this first recording. Yeah, we're going to go through this whole book. So the agents of Satan and Gabriel agreed to play false play on the soul level. And let me go down a little bit more. The fragmentation of God's angels are overlaid by resonators, which steams from the agents of Satan and the Gabriel. Their smashed soul makes them defenseless against that overlapping. They don't realize the false game. Understand when they talk about Satan and Gabriel, they're talking about aspects of you, your body. So this is not to find a common scheme. Relationships and marriages between agents and humans who carry soul parts of angels. At first, the light flows between both auras. Satan and Gabriel skim the lights and therefore themselves as unburdened life in abundance. These offsprings are feathered. Thus, a linkage of genes develops and it becomes carnal. Now the divine energy flows of the hardwired conductors to the agents and from there to Satan Gabriel system. Who can be treated in therapy? Everyone who sets out for the light world of God. Not treated can be those who hinder or prevent this way. Also parts of angels who have recognized the trap, remember the way back, and want to start back from home can receive backing and support. But there can be no help whosoever for Satan, Gabriel, and their earthly incarnations. Right. So, hmm. So basically, I guess what this is trying to let you know, there are those who remember, there are those who don't, there are those who are just part of this whole matrix, and they don't have any type of beginning. Only that is what is created here for them. All right. So, all right. So now we got the look like this is Chronos, of course, the ring around them and touching down on the arrow pointing up. There we go. As I was showing you the wisdom, faith, Jesus Christ, wisdom, infinite multiverse. As I was showing you, when you go up, you go left to right, loop, loop. You make that infinity shape and you shoot up. I have to find a Jesuit. There's a symbol of the Jesuits where it shows the arrow pointing up and shows the infinity sign, right? Act 1, the all in is one. There is a original and transcendent spiritual unity. The first principle of God that is perfectly spiritual being did not create the multi universe. But this perfectly spiritual being did not create the material universe or reality, but the womb, which is called Berbello, and seed, which is called Pan, wink wink, spermia. of the universe. Wink, ha, 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 ha. So we got Bell and Pan. Let's just say what it is. Bell and Pan. Bell is the woman's vagina, which is the devil. Make man lose himself. Lose part of himself, which is what? The seeds. I'm probably jumping ahead of myself. But Bell, or Barbello, serves as an active, energetic complement to the God's passive principle of potential form as the driving force behind creation. She represents fertility, birth, and dynamic growth. If God is consciousness without separation, timeless and unchanging, then Barbello is an infinite consciousness overflowing to multiplicity, the mind of God at play with itself. Yes, Bell, Barbello, the belly, the womb of the beast, right? The mother, the concept of father and mother child are expressions of the first thought, and Barbello is the first thought, the mother, the belly. The verbal expression of product or the first thought is the divine self originates, the Holy Spirit or anointed Christ. This is the blueprint of humanity's spirit, as we will see later. The fullness of which of these aspects is called pleroma. Now, God came to emanate a vast manifestation of luminaries and eons. Eons is what represents different aspects of himself, which is basically broken down to different heavens or angels, but these will be angels. Oh, actually, hey, there you go. Realms, abstracts. I didn't see that right there. Concepts, realms, abstracts, angels, archangels. How about this talking? I was just explaining in my own way. It was right there, right in front of me. So one aspect being androgyny, unified and singular being, right? Luminaries and aeons are beings that dwell with them. These beings are the original pool of souls or spirits, the full manifestation of God and divine self originate, and the luminaries. And eons, is called the eternity. Yeah. All right. Whew. An hour went by pretty darn fast here, huh? Oh my God. My bad, boom. All right. So, I swear I'm going to break this statue. I don't want to break that. All right. So, where's my water at? That's what I'm looking for. I'm getting thirsty. Oh, let me push pause and give me some water. All right. Okay, so I did an hour. So reading this book. And Act 2 is talking about the creation of the material universe. And how far are we? Act 3, 4. Well, okay. Act 3, there we go. Creation of humanity. Act 4, early human history. 5, subsequent human history. And we get Jesus as a Palladian. There we go. Now we get into Saturn. You know, Saturn is something very special, right? We gotta get into the whole thing with Saturn. Why is Saturn so special? Well, the rings are time loops. The time, the rings. Mm. So let's get into Saturn. In the beginning, there was a rebellion. And of course, you know about the 1/3, right? The 1/3 is your body, your bottom of your animalistic body, your chakras, right? The Archons are characteristic as terrible forces of negativity and illusion. They are cosmic prison wardens seeking to keep their humans bound to Earth. How? The seven deadly sins were inserted as archetypes into the soul, which is incarnated on Earth for the first time. Lust, gluttony, greed, slouch, wrath, envy, pride. Or in the words of Castadina, the predators gave us their mind. Uh, so in other words, we are in these animal bodies. They gave us their mind. This is the chakras. If you get lost in your chakras negatively, if you get lost in the zodiacs negatively, these are the masks of these gods that many people love to worship, right? Uh, the archons are tyrannical and limiting agents who rule over humanity and creation in order to enhance their own self importance and glory. And you can look at archons. It's kind of like how the gods of Olympus. They just stand there overseeing humans, having using humans for their enjoyment. And then Kratos was a chaos being, destroying all the gods. Kratos will represent us, ready to be free, right? So here's the Saturn moon matrix I was telling you about also. Remember, now you get into the whole thing where you're talking about where does the moon come from? It's a base. You know, Saturn have all these rings, but these rings aren't actually, these rocks, these big rocks. They're big enough to be moons. They come from Saturn. These little archons, right? These influencers. It's crazy how they say this big old rock, this moon, controls and influences Earth tides the way it does, right? Just because it's up there. So you get the Saturn moon matrix. Your reality is being hacked. David Icke is, of course, here. If you have a preconceived idea of the world, you edit information, which leads you down a certain road. You don't want to challenge your own belief. Many people don't want to challenge what they believe or what they learned. Of course, why would you, right? Why would you want to say that you're being controlled by some type of forces? So, if you look at the moon, you see the moon is very similar to that of the Death Star. As a matter of fact, the moon was, well, the Death Star was actually created from the moon. They say the dark side of the moon, you can't see the dark side of the moon, which is funny enough. You can't see it because it's a moon base. It don't illuminate all the way through. So you get the Lord of the Rings, the Reptilian Alliance. I like that. I like that term, right? The reptiles. The reptiles genetically engineered a new species to tune them into a false reality, their matrix. And their plan is hijacked with the perception of people. They have done exactly this to Earth and humanity, and their means of doing so are Saturn and the Moon. The Saturn, the Lord of the Rings, is a master control center. Saturn is a broadcasting center. Yes, you got the nice rings around it. You got all those mini moons. All these moons are also named after archons or old gods, right? Titans. And I have a book. I need to go into this book as well, along with this video. It's going to be a long video if I do that. But, I mean, it goes with this part of the lesson so well, I might have to do that. I didn't want to make this video too long. Because once I finalize this video and upload it, I'm pretty sure most people may not even be looking at it. They'll be looking at Mike Tyson and Holyfield fights. It's 8:51. And that portion of the fight not going to happen till later anyway. They show the other cards. So that's why I'm doing this video. He paid $50 for the Mike Tyson anyway. What the hell? Yeah. And if y'all want to know what music I'm listening to, that's that cyberpunk. Getting ready for it, man. I'm telling you, I'm ready for cyberpunk. I'm ready. I'm telling y'all, once this game comes out, don't be y'all ain't gonna be hearing from me. I'm gonna be on cyberpunk. I'm gonna be playing. All right. We gotta put this information out here now. So the Lord of the Rings, Saturn broadcasting system. Visually, these rings are full crystals rather than eyes. The type of crystal that we aren't familiar with Earth. I always say, if you destroy the rings of Saturn, what would happen? I say that because the rings are on Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, all these big old titans. Uranus, all these places got these rings. Even we got rings around us. Not like what you think I'm talking about. I mean, is this so-called big, huge asteroid ring belt, they say, quote unquote, circling around. So we are even encased in a ring of bounded and traps, right? The inner planets, as they call it. And apparently Saturn got this six-sided hex, right? Six-sided hex, number 6, hexing us a time. I mean, hey, when you think about this type of stuff, dang, how is this perfectly designed like this? This is not an accident. This is designed. It's not like, oh, everything crashed and blew up and just created itself. This is not. No. This is a design created, not by no accident. You can't accidentally create something like this. A perfect six-sided hexagram. People, a reptile eye of Saturn. Yeah. If you look at Saturn sideways, it look like an eye. Saturn is the second biggest planet. Jupiter is the sixth planet. Saturn is the second biggest planet, and Jupiter, and it's the sixth planet from the sun. Its rings and moons make it unique. Saturn is called a gas planet. Number 6. Even then, even at 6, so we got 6. Number 6, six-sided. Actually, you say 666 is Saturn, right? Um, Jupiter, Saturn also generates heat. More heat. Saturn takes more than 29 Earth years to complete a journey around the sun. 9 plus 2 is what? 11. All right. The planet, like a gateway, number 11. I was thinking about something. The planet, the dark sun. This is a black sun. This is what the Saturn is. The black sun has been known about since prehistoric times because it can be seen from Earth, but it also has a development of strong enough telescopes that rings were able to be seen. Babylonian astronomers recorded the movements of Saturn, and it was worshipped as the Roman, as the god Saturn, Kronos. Yep. There's no coincidence Saturn having so many moons because Saturn used to be a online sun. Saturn used to be the sun. They got turned offline by the rings. The rings is a device that sucks the energy from Saturn. It's a staging ground. Saturn is the staging ground for these exterior beings. As you want to read some of this stuff, all the moons, 63 moons. According to this book, there's way more moons than that. But, all these names of these gods, these titans, you can read through that. But here we go. The all-seeing eye. The Saturn, Hax. Saturn is the all-seeing eye in the sky. That's why I see big brothers looking at you. Saturn has symbolized as eye by the ancients, and that is likely origins of the all-seeing eye. course, that's where you get the Alcyon from, Saturn. One of our major symbols of the reptilian hybrid bloodline network. I went to the subway stations right next to Ground Zero when I spoke New York in 2010. The station has a mosaic eyes on the walls all along the platforms and a large depiction of the full of a eye broadcasting frequencies across the planet. And can I bring this picture up? Make it okay. I may be able to find this picture, but actually, here. Let me just zoom in on it. There we go. Basically, you can see it. It's like the sun, just like the little sun device we see in the sky, blazing itself. The sun was super bright today, for me, where I was living, where I live, super mega bright, right? Uh, so there we go. Look like that, just like the sun shooting out all its cosmic rays, influencing everybody. Saturn does the same thing too. Hmm. Now we're gonna get into the whole let there be light, the speed of light, which we are told is the fastest speed possible. The rubbish is the vibrational wall of the matrix. We are not even living on Earth as it really is. Some of it's original, but there are many holographic implants that change it for our perception. The matrix broadcasts block humans from perceiving what we otherwise would be experiencing. The Earth that we can't see or feel is a place of love and harmony. Uh, the Earth that we can't see. So, matrix transforming once fabric. The predators dedicate our lives and make us into slaves to them by hijacking our sense of reality. The Sun Moon Matrix transforms a once fabric conscious humanity into computer programs decoding cycles of repetitive perception behavior. The transmissions, uh, the where was I? The transmissions of the Saturn Moon Matrix are received and retransmitted by Earth crystal's core, which has been tuned to matrix frequency range. And the hack connects with us through. I take my glasses off. Through the reptilian brain and receiver. Yeah, you know what your reptilian brain is, right? Let me click on tap on that. All right. Your reptilian brain is back here, and this gives you a big old list of things to study. Uh, this is a nice book, by the way. This goes all the way in. List of 25 reptilian brain characteristics. We have a body, but where's the user manual? All right. I started my personal journey in 1995 in the first area I studied. The reptilian brain is a metaphor for the behavior it creates in us humans. Right. The reptilian brain, serpentine brain, lizard brain, the R complex is known as the oldest part of the brain. I'll use these terms interchangeably. The serpentine brain consists of the upper parts of the spinal cord and base and ganglia, which sits on top of the spinal column like a knob, middle of our heads. This part of our brain fundamentally influences our behavior and controls body functions required for substance life, such as breathing and temperature, body temperature. Basically, runs itself, so you don't have to think about doing stuff. Just imagine having to think about having to get your heart to beat, your intestines to poop out stuff that you need, right? You have to think these things through. Ooh, there'd be a lot of thinking. So, good gracious, we don't have to do all that thinking. It'd be too much thinking. But our brain is constantly thinking. You just don't know because it's reptilian based. It does what it's supposed to do. Also, it keeps us locked into our habits, bad habits that you want to get rid of. Your reptilian brain also, once again, is where repeating patterns such as rituals, responses, all this stuff, right? Leaving their jobs to move to another country. I want to move to another country. Take a leap of faith. Yep. And I'm taking a leap of my faith in myself and learning how to run these markets, invest in these markets, put money in these markets, get some money flowing, move to another country. I would love to get out. Hmm. Right. So they broke free of the reptilian brain of the mundane consciousness because you broke free. You decided, hey, you want to do something different. Once people are in fear of not surviving, the fear center of the brain takes over, and we are at the mercy of reactions to perceived threats. The news media targets this part of the brain, which I say turn off that TV. Many institutions are designed and set up by the reptilian brain. Exactly. Here are they below in the military, and sadly, I love my military people that goes there and know, hey, I want to go into the military myself, but they must understand I'm not trying to downplay you or talk down upon you. If you want to go, go. But just note, it's MK Ultra programming. It is what it is. MK Ultra programming. Oh my goodness. Get out of there. Thank you. Religion, of course, and it got nothing to say about that. Education system, of course, got nothing to say about that. As kids, first thing they want you to do as kids is learn how the globe Earth works. Very first thing. When the lizard brain is controlling someone, their behavior can affect other people. Yup, 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 yup. That's back on here. What? Reading my screen. Oh. Mm-hmm. I had some cooler music before. All right, so the desire to control, whether it's relationships, circumstances, we often call people displaying this behavior control freaks, and freaks like is what they appear to be. Yep. So, Lizard Brain. I'm gonna call someone Lizzie. Lizzie McGuire. Lizzie. They was telling you right there. That was You're a lizard brain, thinking about fame and fortune, trying to live in this matrix comfortably. List of 25 reptilian brain characteristics: territorially, hierarchy, control, ownership, wars, jealousy, anger, fear, hostility, worry. Stuck or frozen with fear, addiction, anxiety, aggression, conflict, extreme behavior, competitiveness, cold blood, dog eat dog beliefs that might is right and survival of the fittest, hoarding, looting, superstition. Yeah, superstition could get a lot of people in trouble. Yeah. And competitiveness is fun. I like to being competitive, but competitiveness can get you what? Joining the NBA, Negro Basketball League, NFL, Negro Football League, and your only thing you're doing is just another form of slavery. Daily rituals, and rituals too. Not to say that rituals are bad, but can become a it can become lizard like if you forgot the whole reasoning of doing it. If you lost all control and say I must do it or I cannot go on my day because something bad is going to happen. No, that's when you lost your whole sight of doing the ritual anyway. It's not to become, it's not to let it control you. It's supposed to be a way of means to help you get through your day and become empowered. But people lose themselves in the emotion. Response is based on the fear of not surviving, and this is why marketing and news outlets always use fear to get you to watch a bad product. Or this whole Kobe, Kobe Bryant thing, right? So vaccines and all this nature. All this represents the power of the reptilian brain. These archons place these fear in you. Yep. Man, this is a really good article right here. Yeah. Exactly what I just said. It's for to help you survive because without it, we wouldn't be here very long. Because just imagine having to think everything through. And I'm about to run out. 15%, yeah. I'm about 1 hour and 30 minutes talking on this one. Use your consciousness awareness to live your life and keep your survival brain as a secondary backup, but not a primary leader. Yeah, so your reptile brain's supposed to help you survive. So everyone, if I drop you in the woods, the first thing you're gonna do is what? You're gonna look for shelter. You're gonna find some type of weapon. You're gonna hunker on the ground. You're gonna crawl. You're gonna, if someone's searching for you, you're automatically gonna be hiding in the bushes. I don't gotta tell you that. You're gonna find some type of rock that knocks someone out. You're gonna survive. The body survives. So you gotta see. You'll have to teach yourself that. You can tune it. You can tune it. Yeah, take up train survival classes and tune your survival instincts. But I don't have to just be like, hey, go grab a rock and knock somebody out if someone's searching for you. You don't got to say that. Uh, this is why getting out of nature and away from stress periodically is key to maintaining your emotional health, y'all. You got to do that. The reptilian brain is programmed to reject the unfamiliar and trap us in our comfort zones. Yes, sir, it is. Yep, it's a trap. Sometimes, like I said, the biggest archon is yourself. And I'm gonna highlight this. And I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna link this link. Link this link. I'm gonna use this for a post The biggest Archon is yourself. Yes. Hmm. And all right, so I think I'm going to stop this video right here because I want to go ahead and do something else real quick. Yeah. Sure, Star Goddess. Dang, girl, 4 hours. Let's decode biblical stories in afterlife. Yeah, she be getting that. She be getting those donations though. Sure, Star Goddess. Yeah, she be getting those donations. So yeah, she can stay on. She be staying on for like 4 hours talking. Almost just as long as brother Planet Panic. Yeah, might as well. I never even compare her with brother Panic. But yeah, yeah. So, mm, how to overcome the demon urge? Consciousness is the only way to be free from the effects of reptilian brain, the demon urge. That means knowing the difference between will and imagine. The imagination is the beautiful tool, but it can also create doomsday. Yeah. Remain conscious of your thoughts, and when you are settling feelings in your body, focus on ideas you've been having, redirect them to beliefs that help you have been feeling good and empower you. Your reptilian brain always respond to thought as if they are happening in real life. So, mhm. So yeah. All right. So I'm thinking I may stop right here, and I'll start back later and make like a part two. And this brings us into the junk DNA, and that is a whole other thing right there. And I'm gonna stop it right here. It's a pretty good stopping point talking about the reptilian brain and the matrix and the all seeing nine and archons in general. So all right, so the archon and the Gnostic Bible, and yeah, and let me go ahead. I got the Saturn book of Saturn way up here, right? Yeah, just as the Ringmakers of Saturn, and the Ringmakers of Saturn talks about those beings that floats around the Saturn ring. So all this goes hand in hand. And like I said, if I start reading this book, it's gonna be a very long video, which I did not want to make too long. And I'm gonna have to make a part two. So part two is gonna jump. I'm gonna read a little bit of this book and talk about a little bit. So part two will start right here with this book, Rings of Saturn. Okay, so this is Kachi Ron and my buddy Thoth right here, and both of us is out.